Hello, Mr. Mail here, your online math teacher, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be continuing my video series on TI tips, and in particular looking at the binomial CDF functions on the TI-84 calculator. So if you find this video helpful, consider hitting the like button and subscribing. Now, if you haven't seen my video on the binomial PDF function, I'd consider going and looking at that first, because I use the same scenario there. So in our scenario here that we're going to look at, you and two friends are rolling dice for fun. You're going to win if you roll a 1 or a 2, and your friends will win if they roll a 3, 4, 5, or 6. And you're interested, what's the probability that you win 50 or fewer times in 100 rolls? And we're defining our random variable x to be how many times a 1 or a 2 is rolled out of the 100 rolls. So this is a binomial setting. This is a binomial random variable. I confirmed the binomial setting in my other video, so I won't do it here. And in particular, our binomial setting here has parameters, n being 100, because we have those 100 rolls, the 100 trials, and a probability of success, p, being 1/3, because 1/3 of the possible outcomes result in you winning. And we're assuming it's a fair die. So what we're interested in here is we're interested in the probability that you win 50 or fewer times 100 rolls. So we are interested in the probability that your random variable is less than or equal to 50. So I have my little x being 50 here. Now, you can always write out what this equation really says by hand. So what it's really saying is, what's the probability that you win exactly 50 times plus the probability you win exactly 49 times plus all the way down, adding up the probability you win exactly 0 times. So we really have 51 numbers we're adding together with this. And you could write out what this formula says exactly by hand. But it is very unrealistic for you to want to actually add all those up by hand. So this is where technology is going to come in handy. Now, might encourage you to still write this formula out if you're taking, say, the AP statistics exam, because that you can easily lose credit if you're only going to rely on your calculator notation. So more work is always better than none. But we want to see how we can get credit by using our calculators. So here's how we would do this. So here's my TI-84 emulator here, my TI-84 SmartView. You're going to need to go to distributions. So it's this blue word here right above my variables button. So I'm going to hit second, then variables to go to my distributions menu. Then since I'm at a binomial or random variable, I'm going to go down until I find the binomial CDF function. Now, CDF stands for cumulative distribution function. We want to have the cumulative sum of when we're letting that little x be 0, 1, 2, all the way up to 50. So I'm adding a bunch of things. So that's why I'm using CDF. If I was only interested in the likelihood of when you win 50 times and didn't care about the less than part, we would go with PDF. But we want CDF here. So our parameters were our 100 trials, and with the probability of 1/3 for winning. And we wanted to know the probability that you won 50 or fewer times. So my little x value is 50 here. So 50 or fewer. And I paste it here. An older version of this calculator might not give you that previous menu you saw there. You would need to know that I'm entering in my parameters first and then my little x value later. But if I do this here, I get my answer. Now, how can you write this to receive credit if it were the AP exam? You need to make sure you specify what each of those numbers actually represents. So when I go to write this in calculator speak, I'm going to write binom CDF, just like my calculator has here, but instead of writing 100, 1/3, 50, I need to write n is equal to 100 to specify the number of trials done is 100. P is equal to 1/3. So the probability of success on each trial is 1/3. And our little x value is being 50 here. So you need to write those values in if you want to receive credit on the AP exam. If you were to drop the N, the P, and the X and write binomcdf 100, 1/3, 50, so I've dropped those letters, this would not receive credit on the AP exam. So you need to be clear and specify what those values are if you're going to write this on your test. A lot of teachers are hesitant and will tell you maybe you shouldn't write that. That's why I've written the formulas above here. It's always good to write your formulas because then the reader or grader is going to know how you got to the number. So the numbers can't just appear. I can't go P of X is less than or equal to 50 and then jump right down to this last line here about 0.9998. So I need to give some good work that shows me what I did. And a lot of the time, if you're going to use your calculator, this is the notation you need to write. So I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, consider hitting the like button and have an awesome day.